Hey, welcome back to another episode of Projecting Grandeur. I'm your host, Ron Dichter, and today I want to just talk a little bit about some things that are happening now that this podcast has been out for about a month now, and just kind of talk about why I'm doing this. So, I got my first hate, or not hate, but call it criticism or negative feedback on some of my episodes. And at first I read them and I was thinking to myself, like, why? Like, why take the time to, tell me what you don't like about it and just stop watching it or listening to it? But then I got a couple others and I was like, geez, people really want to tell you or more snicker at you or ridicule you for doing it. And, I just want to talk about like the why behind this. So I've been really fortunate in life to have some really great people that have supported me in my entrepreneurial journey, whether it be mentally, whether it be physically, whether it be emotionally. I've had a lot of really good people that have been there for me. I've talked in the past about my dad and how influential he was just in my moral compass of making good decisions and doing things that are right, and telling me to believe in myself. And I've got an amazing wife that I feel terrible because I often think she's like my shrink, because I'm constantly at night telling her about all the bad things, and I feel like sometimes I'm dumping on her, but she's so great about just picking me up when I'm down and telling me I'm doing the right things. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have that. They don't have somebody in their life that is telling them they're good when they feel bad, or picking somebody up when they fall down. And I think I take for granted how fortunate I am to have these people in my life. And I want to be able to, share like that with all of you, because again, I've been lucky to have that, and not everybody is so fortunate. So if I can be that person that helps pick you up or believe in you, like that's kind of part of the point of this. The other part of this is being able to be more than what you are. And we all have bad moments and times when we question, our abilities. Like, that's natural, that's normal. Do not beat yourself up over that. But if you don't have somebody to help get you out of that tailspin, it can be hard sometimes. And so for those of you out there that are kind of sitting on the sidelines snickering and telling me all the things, of what I say that's wrong or you don't agree with, like, that's totally fine. And if you want to take your time to comment on that, do that. But don't hurt everyone else's ability to become the best person that they can be. Anyway, I digress. So going back to the point is, having somebody out there that can pick you up when you're down is really important. If you don't have that physical person, there's a lot of really great and inspirational content that you can find out there, and you just have to believe in yourself and not question it. And it kind of goes back, I don't know, we all were in middle school at one point in our life, and we probably remember that first school dance, and very awkward, or at least mine were very awkward, where on one side of the dance floor was all the guys, on the other side of the dance floor was all the girls, and then you get a couple people that would be brave enough to go into the middle and actually start dancing, whether it be alone or whether they ask somebody, and everybody else would sit there and laugh and snicker and make comments like, oh my gosh, they look so stupid. But they had the strength, to go out there and do it, knowing that everybody was going to ridicule them. And then what ends up happening is you look at them and they're actually having fun. They're the ones enjoying themselves. They're the ones actually going to the party and really taking advantage of what it is. And so as you think about, kind of your everyday life, like, you gotta put yourself around people who are positive, put yourself around people who are motivational, and frankly, put yourself around people who believe in you. Like, it doesn't mean you have to believe in you and not question things. Like, questioning is fine. But there's a constructive way to do it and a destructive way to do it. And you want to find and surround yourself with people who are constructive. And this may mean actually ending relationships that don't bring value to your life. And I have a lot of friends that are great people, but they were friends with me at a time when my life was different. My goals were different. My desires were different. And they've, stayed where they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, they seem very happy and content. But for where I am in my life, they actually become destructive to what I'm trying to do. And you have to be brave enough to put those relationships behind you. Maybe you'll pick them back up later in life, but if your goals, get compromised by these individuals or these groups of people, like, don't put yourself in that situation and remove these people from your life, which is why it goes back to, not everybody is so lucky to have somebody in their corner motivating them, picking them up when they're down, and telling them they're doing the right thing. And so my goal here in Projecting Grandeur is to be that for you. And I don't have all the answers. I don't have every thing you're going through. I can't be empathetic to all the the trials and tribulations that you have going on in your life. But what I can tell you is this channel is going to be dedicated to positivity. This channel is going to be dedicated to becoming the best version of yourself. And if you want to tune along and come along for the ride, like, come on, let's do this. But be positive. Surround yourself around people who want you to become the best version of yourself, and you have to want to become the best version of yourself, and you can do that. So just a quick one today, a little bit unplanned. I'm sure many of you out there, negativity is part of life and part of certainly putting content out there. And I just hope that the people who are finding value in this continue to tune in. So have an amazing day. Remember, surround yourself with good people and share this with others. And let's start spreading the word. Have a good day.